everybody. My name's Sarah Roberts. I use any pronouns, and I'll be playing Lucy, the changeling Magus, who also uses any pronouns, and is currently going by Dahlia. So don't be confused when my name isn't the one you're seeing on screen.
Hi, I'm Jen. I go by she, her. I'll be playing Anthony Silverhorn. He is a cavern elf inventor, and he has a couple pals that hang out with him, Soon and Julian. One of them is his innovation construct, and he goes by he, him.
Hello, everybody. I'm RJ. Today I'm playing Titus, but currently he's going by Val, and he is a human ranger. I am a human menace. We both go by he, him.
Hello, everyone. My name is Robyn, and I will be playing Annelisse, the half-elven bard, and we both go by she, her.
And that just leaves me. Hi, everyone. My name is Sittin, or Alyssa Vamp Art on the internet. I'll be your GM for the day. I go by she, they, and I'll be playing a bunch of characters that go by many pronouns. For those that weren't here or haven't watched the last episode, last week, our party started planning for a heist against a merchant nobleman named Ulrich Zovas, who seemed to be connected to Titus's, aka Val's, past. With the help of a few friends and some persuasive advertising from Titus and Anthony, aka Frank, the group turned Annelisse into the Siren, a captivating performer made to entice the target away from their lodging at the manor, while Lucy, aka Dahlia, has slipped into the working crew of the manor in hopes of taking the item they are after from Ulrich's room while he is away. So after a long day of working their plan, we are a few hours before performance. The barkeep or bar owner of the Black Flagon had told Frank and Val to be there at 6 before open so they can put whatever they want together. After a very persuasive last-minute check-in from Val, saying like, hey, by the way, we're putting all these flyers to say you're gonna have this performer at your bar tomorrow night. Can't we have this performer at your bar tomorrow night? And the owner said, sure, no problem. But what are we all doing to prepare? Annelisse, you were just sent to a house with Adore, your tiefling friend, and we're all glammed up to become the Siren. And you are put in this lovely carriage drawn by 2 magnificent white stallions. As you make your way through the town, she makes sure to take the long way to, garner some interest, but eventually your carriage will stop in front of the Black Flagon, close to the entry door. You can see eyes and people looking at you with interest, with awe. You can see them talking to each other like, oh, is that her? Who is that? Just wondering what's going on. And Adore makes sure that once you walk out of that carriage, you are entering the Black Flagon, and only those that have the right angle can catch a slight glimpse of you. That's a little tease.
Yeah, she'll just float in, let the dress do its work, and just try to really not do her normal hello everyone. She was just looking forward and just walking past them.
Just mysterious, alluring. Get it?
Can we say that the freshly disguised Peanut is just trotting along behind her with his nose in the air?
Yes.
Just somehow knowing that he's supposed to play along and be a spoiled rotten dog for the night.
Adore has given him a beautiful sapphire and pearl collar to match Annelisse, or the Siren. And he is just trotting up with his nose in the air, freshly dyed to disguise his little fey blink dog fur, and just trotting the most beautiful, sophisticated, spoiled trot behind Annelisse. So as you come in, Anthony or Frank, as the manager, what have you done to prepare for this other than the very persuasive advertising a battle that you and Titus have had at the town square?
think he would have asked Adore the day before to have like a half face mask covering to cover like his upper face. He's playing into the mystique of the siren.
You can sure do that.
He'll ask for nicer clothes because he can't afford the nicer clothes at the moment. So he's playing up the part more or less.
That is no issue. Adore has come to the tavern with some garment bags in tow. If one for you and one for Titus or Val. Yours as the manager is very, very smart suit. Not overly decorated, but you still have a pendant that has the same kind of gold, sapphire, and pearl detailing as Annelisse has.
Lovely. He'll just kind of, depending on how quiet the bar is at the time, like before everybody gets in, he'll just kind of shuffle change in there, fix the pen on his label, make sure it's all nice, put the mask on, and kind of pull his hair up in a half ponytail, making sure that it curls where it's supposed to, playing the part of a fancy manager more or less. But he will have asked the barkeep to put up decorations or fairy lights or what have you around the bar just to bring the atmosphere a bit closer. May have discarded a few candles to make it a bit darker and more mysterious.
That's fair. Roll me a retroactive persuasion check.
Would it be society? Because I would understand how this would work as I am from a noble-ish background
It
and
would be
understand
society, yes.
Okay, cool. 22.
You see the dwarven man who you have come to know. You don't know his name. You really don't. He has not introduced himself to you. Doesn't plan to do so anytime soon, unless you ask for his name. But he strokes his beard and sitting back, it's like, well, I got a few string lights I could put.
That would be fantastic. Do you have looks to the stage curtains?
Yeah, there's curtains behind the stage. Do you want the curtains in front of the stage?
Yes.
Okay, well, I have them. I'm not putting them up though.
You're collecting all the
Father and a
silver that we are giving you, correct?
Yeah, after you try to use my tavern last minute. Listen, I'm giving you the
No, I was just
curtains.
wondering, I
You
mean,
just have to put them up yourself. I usually bring people to help me with that. I'm short. I'm a dwarf. Curtains are tall. You're taller than me. You could probably put up the curtains.
I am
The
quite
rails
tall.
are still there. You just gotta put them up, you know. There's a
Fine, I'll
pool.
put them up. Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes. He'll go about doing that. He'll grumble the entire time. as
He
he's
just
doing
really did not want to be bothered with putting up the curtains, so
Yeah.
he's more than happy to let
Yeah.
you. He'll like push a stool over to you,
Yes,
and
he'll-
while you're mhm.
He'll do all that. He'll also order a very. If the bar itself doesn't have it, he'll ask if he can buy something from the manor to be brought in as a high-end drink for their special guests and reserve a very central table for their special guests. Like nobody can touch it.
They have some high-end wines, whiskeys, spirits.
Yeah, I think he'll ask for like one of each just to be on reserve because he doesn't know what their guests like. So he'll just have it there in case it's needed and on the
Yeah.
ready.
Got it. I'll put it on your tab.
We don't have a tab, but all right. And he'll kind of make sure like the central table is clear, VIPs only sort of thing, clean to the best, high wax, all 9 yards. And then he'll just kind of fuss with it for the remainder of the day until the event.
And Titus, you are also provided with some much more smart and elegant garment to put. It can hide any leather armor that you have, and just a nice cloak, as well as if wanted, Adore also brought a second half face mask should you wish, because Anthony had asked for one from her.
Be more like the not the Phantom of the Opera, but like the domino white sort of over the eyes mask.
It requests that she can do that. And as you're all setting up, it is before the bar opens its doors. You see Annelisse trotting in this beautiful flowing light blue to dark blue with these, dark blue to light blue with these white edges that seem like crashing waves around her feet. A corset that's made to accentuate her figure and curves, and it is decorated with pearls and sapphires and gold adornments, as well as her hair is put up in this lovely updo with this beautiful hairpin that matches the corset. And you see her skin is dewy, glowing, and decorated with half pearls. And there's Peanut behind her. Dyed. What color did we dye Peanut?
He probably would have ended up somewhere around like a reddish brown, just with all of the red that was already in his fur. I think color theory wise, that would be the easiest thing to get him to in 24 hours. So he looks like a regular Cavalier King Charles Spaniel.
This very lovely collar of sapphires and pearls and gold to match Annelisse. Just trotting behind her, nose up in the air, tail waggling.
While Annelisse is like walking, could I also cast a cantrip here, which I think would work quite well for this. I can't pronounce the second word of it though. I've been sitting trying to pronounce it. I'm going to just go for it. It's a musical accompaniment.
Company.
Ah, that is a word. Okay. There was a lot of C's and M's and N's there. So basically, I'll be surrounded by sort of orchestral music that will shift and change to match my behavior. It provides a +1 to performance checks. I'm just casting it just as I walk around so that this sort of like fancy music will just be playing as she sort of walks, and she's trying to give off that sort of more sophisticated vibe with it.
Okay. Are you doing so right now? Because right now it is the tavern is empty. It is just you three prepping.
She is going to do it. So see, like as she got out of the vehicle and started like walking sort of in and past people, she's going to have it playing there, just almost a way for people to kind of notice what's happening. And then it'll just sort of trail off. And she may do it again later, like before the actual performance starts. But this is just a way to kind of like, almost like a little teaser of the type of sophistication that people can expect tonight.
Okay. You cast that, and the eyes and murmurs that were around you are filled with awe and amazement as they hear this music accompanying you and catch small glimpses of this famed performer. So Val and Frank, you see Annelisse come in with this music just trailing her, fading off softly with Peanut behind her.
Titus has been doing the rogue lean on the door with like a pipe in his mouth, sees Annelisse come in and just like, oh, well, don't you look very picturesque?
Lovely. How are you feeling? And he'll just kind of shut the door quickly before anybody can get in.
He sees people kind of starting to move towards the door.
Yeah, as soon as we're in and the door's shut and she's doing this whole like, she's gonna be like, oh my god, like that is like so difficult. Have you seen that? She stuck petals like to my skin, like glued them. I don't even know if this is skin safe. Like what happens if I want to take it off? Do I lose my skin at the same time? And there's so many pins in my hair. Like I feel like if I move wrong way, I go to like impale myself on a pin. Apart from that, I'm feeling great.
Well, you just have to use spirit gum. It burns for a bit, but you'll be fine.
It burns for a bit, but you will be fine. Well, think about that sentence, just like really slowly.
You'll be fine.
You have to excuse him. He's been with nobility for far too long. The tortures that they endure are much more than us peasant folk can account for.
I mean, like, it's nothing compared to, like, not being able to eat or having to steal to survive, but I guess, sure, burning spirits come. Equal struggles there.
I mean, I was a shepherd boy before I rose to nobility, so I know both ends of the stick.
Just let me have my rant, okay? I don't like it.
He'll just go over to Annelisse and kind of look her over, kind of do the whole full-on inspection of, like, yeah, this is good, and then turn to Adore. You're a marvel and genius at your art.
Darling, you are so right. And you see her with her black hair up in a nice updo, a few pearls in her hair, and a simple dark blue dress, but it accentuates her gifts. She does not want to outshine the siren tonight, but she's here for support.
We'll need a code word should things go pear-shaped, in a polite word. Pineapple, is that good enough?
Gonna keep an extra eye on our target, but if you need a safe word...
I need a safe word because our target has a bodyguard.
I mean, like, maybe a word that I could, like, say that, like, might not sound so strange, you know, if I'm just, like, you know, la la la, dancing away, a pineapple, that might sound odd.
Well, you're the siren. I'm pretty sure that the odder you sound, the better you come off.
Not necessarily, dear.
What if, a phrase? I know, like, a word usually works better for safety words, but, you know, sometimes you mishear the word, so you think it's something else, but a phrase, like, you know, maybe,
Oh,
these sailors are getting, a bit frisky. Something like that, you know, you can put that into, like, a bit of a tale and a story. And it's enough to be like, oh. And also, like, there's sailors and stuff around. If someone of you said that, nobody would second glance.
That works. That will be your phrase to say to us, and Titus can jet off to where he needs to.
fair enough.
I will stay here with you two, and yeah, I best way to say it, break a leg.
You want me to break my leg?
No,
It's
That would probably cause issues. Like, you know, I use my legs like a lot.
Darling, it's a turn of phrase. It means good luck.
Why don't you just say good luck? Good luck
Because
works
it's-
fine.
it's bad luck to say good luck in
on the
performance.
stage.
Yes.
So it's
We honestly should have a ghost light just to be safe.
a ghost light. There's going to be ghosts now as well.
Yes.
I just thought I was here to sing pretty song. Now we've got ghosts, broken legs, and bad luck to say good luck. And burning spirit gum.
Don't go saying Macbeth, that's a killer. And Titus will go off to finish preparations.
And as we end with that note, Dahlia, while the dwarven woman that you had met the previous night for this job had welcomed you, today it's a different manager on duty, and she seems a bit more the type that runs a tight ship. To prepare for this night, are you doing anything special, or planning or prepping anything?
No, I already have the keys, right? To the room?
Mm-hmm.
No. She'll just go through the day as usual and try to keep her head down.
Okay. As you do so, you meet this half-elven woman, blonde hair, in this tight ponytail, and she goes up to the second floor where the worker quarters are, and she looks at you. You're new, correct?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Right. So I don't want you making mistakes in front of the guests. So tonight you'll be put to clean the pond in the back. Do you have any experience cleaning ponds?
No, ma'am.
We'll have someone go with you. And make sure to use the back stairs. Do not let the guests see you drenched, please. We have special guests this week, and we want to make sure that their last night is perfect.
Is there some sort of event going on in the establishment?
Not here, but apparently there's some grand event over at the Black Flagon, and
Oh, the bar that they were talking about.
yes, I don't know what it is. Something about a siren or mermaid. I don't know, but some performer or other suddenly came into town, and now that's what everyone's talking about.
Okay. Well, I've already cleaned their room for the day. Are they gonna want any, like, turn-down syrup, some mint on their pillow? Any literature from the Bard's event? I'd be happy to make sure that also makes it to where it's convenient for them.
Make sure you put any flyers in the rooms. I'm sure they'll be interested. We work with the Black Flagon every so often to cater to events or to have events that coincide with our guests or the people that are staying. This is all last minute and I am very stressed.
I understand, ma'am.
You can put flyers in the rooms should you wish, just nowhere where it obstructs them. If they're not here, we're going to need the rooms cleaned.
I will make sure that I am not seen or heard and everything gets done.
I like you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Right, so let's dox the pond. I'll give that to Carlos or Frederick. Doesn't matter, they're taller anyway. You are going to be then in charge of making sure the bathrooms are clean tonight, in case they need to prepare to go to the Black Flagon. So in a bit about an hour, I'm gonna need you down there.
Lucy pulls a small notebook out of her pocket and just starts taking notes.
She's tapping her chin and then she looks down. She's just a little of approval. All right. They're staying in 2 separate rooms, so we'll need those 2 rooms thoroughly cleaned.
Yes, ma'am.
We're going to bring them some refreshments before, and some let's do a charcuterie board. We should have what we need in the kitchens. I'll have the chef prepare something for them.
Did you want me to deliver that, ma'am, or did you want to deliver it yourself?
I will deliver it myself.
All right, I'll make sure it's all set.
Thank you. What was your name again?
Thalia, it's a pleasure to meet you.
It is a pleasure to meet you too. My name is Elphaba. I don't know why that's the first name that came through, but that's her name.
So if you care to find me...
Exactly. You can call me Elle.
Did you pick up any new flowers for the rooms, ma'am? I can go get that right now if you'd like.
Flowers. No, I didn't. Actually, perfect. Yes, go get them. Make sure you get some baked goods from Sweets and Such as well, just in case.
Does our special guest have any dietary restrictions?
I believe they are allergic to berries, if
All
I'm
right.
not mistaken. So nothing with berries. Something that will complement the cheese and meat selection in the charcuterie board. We do have some cases of wine upstairs. I need you to talk to the chef and get the finest one we have there as well as compliments. Once that's put together, let me know. I will be at the front desk taking care of all our other guests. You just make sure everything's put together, all right?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much. You are wonderful. I like you. Only everyone else was just as dutiful.
Lucy will finish taking notes and then head out to get all of the supplies needed. Do I have the opportunity to go past the bar just to kind of peek in the window and make sure that the rest of my party is doing okay?
You can. Yes.
Okay. I think she goes around the back, and if there's a window to whatever room they're in, she just knocks on it.
I think Soon kind of just plasters himself to the window and kind of scuttles around before tapping back.
Titus will pick Soon off the window and raise it slightly. I'm sorry, we're not interested in Girl Scout cookies today.
I would throw this at you, but I need it for our special guest. Everything going okay here?
Yeah, perfectly fine. Setup is going as well as one could hope with only 3 people, but you know what, we're making do.
All right. Well, just make sure there's no berries in the building because they're allergic.
Who's allergic to berries?
Exactly.
How things on your end?
Good, I'll have access to the rooms. Just keep them here as long as you can.
That is not up to me. That's up to the entertainment.
Lucy's gonna peek in over the window and take a peek.
Silence on the side.
Oh no! Would you like to come inside? Like,
No.
you know, so we're not talking through window? Kind of weird.
I have to get back. I actually have a full work day to do still.
Oh. Well, what do you think? Look, they glue petals to me. Now I am Siren.
You look acceptable.
Acceptable. Great. Great. Never going to come to you again when I'm stuck.
Have you two been harassing her?
Of course.
Stop it.
They told me I'm going to break my leg.
Oh, that's just an old theater thing, honey. Anyways, I have to get back. Y'all try not to, I don't know, chase them away.
Same for you. Be careful.
I always care.
That is a lie, but alright.
I'm sorry, who is doing what she was trained her entire life to do? Who's playing manager? Sheesh. And with that, Lucy will straighten her vest and walk away,
Like, manager, I am a manager.
heading back with my flowers and baked goods.
Of sheep at most.
Excuse you, I have an entire... I think I have an entire university.
Which you were never on the chair of.
I literally founded it. I am the chair.
I'm sure after 8 years that position has not been filled. They have grieved your loss ever since you've gone missing.
You're right, they probably put a bust of me in the main hall. I like that. I'm gonna go steal my bust. Let's go steal my bust after this.
I like stealing busts. That sounds fun.
Lucy's ears are just burning as she walks away.
You are able to prepare the curtains. You see a door kind of hovering around you, talking to the barkeep, and you hear the name Truscar, which you assume is the dwarves' name. She seems to know him, and she's giving a few directions. And unlike with you, he is following every word that she says, helping with lighting, changing candles, making sure that everything's got the right mood lighting. It is only but a few, maybe 30-ish minutes till the door opens. You see a plain-looking human man, short brown hair, dressed nicely-ish, but at the door, who's getting ready to take the fare for the night. So you can place yourselves where you would like to be, and we will get back to you for a moment. Dahlia, you come back with flowers and pastries. You set up charcuterie board. Is there a specific thing that you're doing with the chef, or are you just doing exactly as you're told?
She will do exactly as she's told, but with flair. So she is going to find the nicest glasses in the establishment for the wine and make sure that they are clean and there is not a single fingerprint on them. She will take the whatever cheeses are available and she will carve them into flowers and put them on the charcuterie board and sort of arrange it to look more like a edible arrangement. Just to give that white glove service to this guest. And then she will inform Elle that everything is prepared to be taken in.
Once everything's prepared, she will come up and say, "Perfect. If you put the flowers in the room."
No, ma'am, I was going to follow behind you and set them in there. I didn't think they'd want to be disturbed twice.
Smart. Okay, come with me, and she'll take the charcuterie board. And there's a nice. It's almost like a holding caddy for. There's like a space for a wine bottle in the middle and 2 glasses on the side. Made out of this really lovely dark wood. You can tell the theme of this house has been a lot of dark wood carved, really nice and fancy. And you see, once you go into the hallway, in front of the door there are 2 guards. She exchanges a few quick words of compliments to the guest here from the establishment to prepare for his night. And they look to each other. One of them goes in for a moment.
What do these guards look like?
As you look at them, they are wearing cloaks, but they're pushed back. You see this dark black leather armor that they're wearing that matches dark black weapons. They have if one of them has short hair, if like faded sides with like almost like a faux hawk, and she's a elven woman with this deep tan and green eyes. And the other one, a man, you see it's long dark hair with a braid straight down the back. You can tell that it goes a bit longer past their waist, but it is all braided tightly. This one is a human man with dark skin and dark brown eyes.
Odds or evens?
Odds.
Okay. Lucy is going to just look from under her lashes and give a shy smile to the female guard.
Okay.
Just a little flirtatious, but nothing too...
Yeah.
She's still working.
Yeah. The female guard just gives a slight nod. It's a recognition as the other guard, the male guard, goes in for a moment. And then comes back out and without a word just opens the door for you two. And you see Alric and what was his name? Kurg. I have issues with that name. Kurg. They are sitting at there's a table at the corner with a few chairs that they're sitting in talking. You can as you go in, you can see the flyer on the table. Elle walks in front of you. He's like, gentlemen, compliments from the establishment for you tonight and your last night here. I figure you could have a proper send-up with a little bit to prepare for the lovely entertainment that the Black Flagon would have should you go yourselves. And you see them kind of nod to each other. It's like, you hear Alric, and this is the first time you're hearing him, and he has a deep voice, much deeper than I can do, and it's a bit gruff. It's like, yes, thanks. Has this performer been here before? And you see that he kind of has this tick with his hand as he plays, as he's talking, always kind of like tapping his fingers. Elle informs them that no, she has not heard of her before, but if she's performing at the Black Flagon, it cannot be anything but fantastic. And she kind of does a little wave behind her back for you to just put flowers in the room as she's talking to them.
Lucy will go and she will carefully and methodically remove any old flowers out of the vases. I'm assuming they have vases already in there that I'm using. Okay. She will carefully remove the flowers and clean up the vases and so carefully arrange things, just kind of busying herself so she can keep listening in, while also just being the help and being unnoticed and out of the way.
Let's do stealth.
Okay.
Because there's no real perception checks, but because you are kind of like trying to be out of the way, let's do a stealth roll and see how out of the way you can be to just hear quietly, because it's not a big room you can hear unless they were like really whispering, which they're not.
26.
as you gently, quietly, and without being in the way, arrange flowers, throw away old ones, make sure everything's clean. You hear talk about if they should go. It is the last night, and they will be leaving early in the morning. Kirk thinks it's just a performance. We can just stay the night. It's all right. And you can tell Alric's a little bit more hesitant. He's like, it's not every day we get to see a performance like this, especially from such a apparently acclaimed performer. And let's just, Kirk, let's just go for the night. And you see Elle just placing the board in front, and she's like, I assure you it would be nothing less than fantastic, especially a beautiful send-off, as she moves the flyer to the side.
Lucy will just, she'll finish up the flowers, and as this is going on, she'll just quietly say, she'll just turn and say, if I may, I heard that she only performs 4 or 5 times a year, so if you are interested, I don't think she's coming back.
See, Kirk, I think this will be a once, well, not in a lifetime, I'll probably find her again, but once in a trip situation, we should definitely go. And you see that the hobgoblin, and they very much look like these tall goblin humanoid creatures with this deep dark gray skin and big ears, so bald, but he is dressed very smartly, and you can tell he has armor and weapons at his side, and he kind of looks to you, then looks to Alric.
Is there anything else I can get you all before I leave?
No, dear. You've been fine. Thank you. But what is your name, darling?
Dahlia. It's a pleasure to meet you, sir.
Pleasure is all mine. We should trust the word of Dahlia here. She sounds like she knows what she's talking about. And you see Kirk just do this, like, nose bridge pinch and a sigh. We'll go. Leave the other two here. You can take your time, just don't drink too much, please. It's like, oh, perfect, wonderful. We shall get ready. Thank you, Dahlia. Thank you, Miss... she's like, Elle. Miss Elle, perfect. You two have been wonderful. We shall get ready. Thank you for the compliments. We shall see you later.
Dahlia is gonna quietly shift over to Kurg as Elric goes and does whatever rich people do, and go, sir, would you like me to go and reserve a particular spot for you? I think it's gonna be pretty crowded over there.
He'll take a side and look at you, up and down.
I passed by there in the market when I went and picked up your. She'll gesture to the charcuterie board, and it was already bustling around that area with anticipation, I think. I think that's what people call it.
Yes. Yes, reserve a table for us. If they have a VIP section, make sure it is whiskey, not wine.
Yes, sir. She'll pull out the notebook again and make notes next to what she made for the housekeeper.
Yeah. And just make sure the table is a bit more separated from the rest, please.
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Thank you. He'll just kind of wave you off with a hand.
You're welcome, sir. And she will exit out of the establishment again and go see the others again.
Are you going through the main entrance?
Wherever she would be expected to go is where she'll head. So I don't know if they have like a servant's entrance that she has to be taking.
For the manor, there is like a back entrance for the servants. For the Black Flagon, there is a main entrance and then there's a back entrance.
Yeah, she'll just give on the way out of the room, she'll just give that guard another shy smile and head out the back door and go to the back door of the Black Flagon to meet the others.
It's just another nod, a slight little smile. But you can go through the back entrance.
Finds the room where you all are. Knock, knock, knock.
Again, we do not want Girl Scout cookies.
Fine, then I'm keeping all my information to myself, and you can just screw this whole thing up.
Wait, no, come back. Hold on. I'm joking, please.
I talked to Kurt. He wants a table out of the way, something that's going to feel secure. No wine, first whiskey.
Can do that. How much do you want to endear yourself to him?
I mean, I don't have to go back and report to him. I do need to go figure out how to deal with the 2 guards outside the room.
Titus plucks Soon off his shoulder and hands him to Dahlia.
Are you telling Anthony that you gave him to me?
Are you telling me you're giving my robot away to people?
He's giving your robot away to people.
I'm giving your robot away to people.
If you're going to sell him, make sure he goes for a high price. I mean, he'll come back.
Dahlia needs a distraction to get into the room, so I figured Soon.
Oh, yes, of course. If you need him to scream, just tell him so. If you just need him to bite, he'll do it, but he'll get squished, so do not destroy him.
Didn't you take out the mana stone that helped him generate light and gave it to me?
That light doesn't work anymore because of the kind of gestures broadly around the room.
Anthony, can you get a key off of this ring for me?
He goes over and kind of leans out the window.
Make it look like it's broken.
Oh, yeah. Kind of fiddles with it and kind of bends it so it looks like it's broken from an angle.
Yeah. Once it's off of her key ring. Thank you, that's going to be my excuse to go back in there looking in case I'm found.
All right. Soon's pretty good with windows, too, if you need a window.
I can just open the window myself.
Sure, but if you need lockpicks, loath to say it, but kind of gestures to a part of his body. Press here, do not pry.
Don't worry, I got another idea for him.
Fantastic.
All right, do you have everything that you all need?
What kind of whiskey?
I don't know, something expensive.
Some sort of single malt, maybe?
Show up with 2 options and let him pick whatever he wants.
Turns to Titus. Non-peat whiskey, 15 age.
I'll go see if they have it in stock.
If they don't, go for a 12-year peat, but more on the smoky side.
Mm-hmm. And if I can't find that, boxed wine.
If you can't find it, just come find me at the manor and I'll get you what you need from there.
Thank you.
All right, I'm going back. Annelisse, if they give you any trouble, just smack them.
Are you talking about your friends?
Yes.
Oh, okay, good. I was going to do that anyway, but like you're the one that scares me, so if I have your blessing, then I'll slack away.
I'll scare you?
Are you're a little intimidating.
All
This
right.
can't be news to you.
I'll see you all later.
Gestures too soon to hide with Dahlia.
Yeah. Can he fit in her pocket?
Yeah, he's very small.
Okay.
Yeah, he's tiny. He's a tiny construct.
And he could kind of curl up.
She'll just shove him in her pocket and take him with her.
As you go back to the manor, it's a few minutes till showtime. You can see that there are people in front of the Black Flagon, just waiting to get in. Dahlia, as you come back, you do see Alric coming out of his room and Kurg out of the conjoined room as well, as they are coming out together, and you see Kurg speaking to the 2 guards. From the distance, you can't quite make sure what it is, but the tone seems stern and very like, I'm the boss, you have to do what I say. And you just see them nod, and eventually they pass you. They give you a nod as well. And they're looking very smart, very nice. But they will make their way to the Black Flagon.
The guards leave with him? Or the guards
No.
stay? Okay.
The guards stay. They're in front of Alric's room, not Kurg's.
Okay.
Kurg leaves with Alric. Any last minute preparations for our tavern crew?
Do they have any types of whiskey on hand?
They have a whiskey called the Oak Walker. It is whiskey aged in barrels made of ant wood.
Can I make some up off the top of my head?
You can.
It's just a scene of Titus putting down 2 gold pieces, going to the back, grabbing like a bunch of shot glasses, putting them down, and then starts pouring like a little bit of whiskey in each of them. Takes a sip, swishes around his mouth, spits it in the bucket, writes down the notes.
You have 3 that are very distinct, and both as good as the other. They just have different flavors. One is a lot more smoky, which would be the Entwood. What's it called again? The Walking Oak, I believe. I didn't like the Oak Walker. I didn't highlight or bold any letters, so I'm just looking through a wall of text here. And there's one called Copper Dragon that has a more not smoky, but it's kind of like that fireball effect.
Cinnamony, spicy.
Cinnamony, yeah, spicy.
Spiced whiskey blend. Notes of cinnamon.
It's called Dwarven Hammer. It's a lot stronger, but it is very, very smooth. It has notes of slight. It's got a slight like caramelly taste to it. Sweeter than the other ones.
Sweet whiskey. Caramel profile. Lovely.
Tarek also says, we also have a slinky.
I'm sorry, sir, but I've been spoken for.
No, it's a shot of Dwarven Hammer that's put into Fey wine. It's really good. Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
If the night pans out how I think the night's gonna pan out, give me one of those.
You got it. What do you have? Your 3 whiskeys: the Oak Walker, the Copper Dragon, and Dwarven Hammer. He'll make sure it's Tarek gives you like a very nice presented like silver plate with like the whiskey crystal bottles and the glasses with them. Any other last minute preparations?
Not so much a preparation, but something he will want to ask a door real quick.
Yeah.
And kind of pull her aside away from Annelisse and the others and just kind of wait for a moment. I don't have gold to pay you, but a favor owed is what I can do.
I do like favors.
As long as it doesn't involve harming those around me. Or I know who those I know personally or care about. I'm fine with it. Those are my stipulations.
For what?
I need some information, and you are a classy lady, and I assume you get into classy courts.
I do.
How far north do you travel?
Not too much. I can make exceptions.
Yeah. There are 2 courts to the north.
Yes.
I need information on the Baron's Court in Loomberry and the courts in the capital. Just to see how things are. Mood, attitude, supplies.
That is a big favor. You're asking me to walk straight into enemy territory.
If you can't do it, a friend maybe?
It's not that I can't, it's that it is very dangerous. What information are you looking for? Let's start there.
I need to know perspective. How the mood is, how the family in Loomberry is, the family that is supposed to be in charge is.
I can talk to some people that I know, but asking me to step in there is like throwing me naked into a lion's den.
Then it shouldn't be too hard for you. You're clever.
I am, but I'm not stupid. I'll see what I can do. And what information I can get you, but I cannot promise much.
I don't need much, I just need a summary.
Alright.
Thank you. I know it's a lot. I'm sorry I couldn't be more forthcoming with everything.
Darling, forthcoming is not our priority here, where we work. I don't need to know your whole life story. If you're no enemy, then we can be friends. And if you are an enemy, you wouldn't be standing where you are.
I wish I had known you 8 years earlier, Dor. Kind of just clasp her shoulders and give an air kiss to each side of her
she'll
cheek.
do. Everyone wishes they know me, darling. Anyway, on with the show. Come on.
He'll kind of sweep back out into the main lobby.
Yes. Annelisse, my darling siren, you'll be coming out of this hallway, and she'll point to where the main doors are. You will make your way to the stage. Your instrument is up there, and I have had it polished and shined. Do not worry. I will open the doors for you. Now, let's take our guest, shall we?
Let's do that. And as we are about to head out, she will cast that cantrip again so that the music will start to follow her as she goes out, giving her a +1 to performance. And
Do you have a specific kind of, just not specific, but just a general vibe of what kind of like melody you are playing?
She is going for. She's trying to sort of put forward what she would see as something that is rather sophisticated, trying to kind of that sort of orchestra type of music playing, kind of different from her usual sort of scene, which would be very like jaunty sort of tune. She's kind of going right far away from that and trying to think more like something that's just a bit more captivating.
Mm-hmm. We'll say it's like a softer orchestra play that kind of has like a more building up to kind of mysterious sounding to give that aura. That's how Adore will like lead.
Yeah.
He's like, let's do this. But it is that orchestral, very different from what you play. It's got that more sophisticated feel that you're going for. And people start coming in one after the other. Is there a specific table that you all reserved for Ulrich?
Titus scans the room. Probably the table that kind of fulfills all of the niches would be that table next to the stage on the bottom of the screen towards the south.
Okay. But eventually people will fill in. Tarek starts opening the windows as per requested last session to kind of, if people outside want to listen to as well, they can. After the room is filled, you do see a hobgoblin man, tall, wearing more militaristic style clothing, come in with Ulrich. And is anyone specifically guiding them to their table?
Anthony will, as he's the manager. He'll kind of see them, put on his best smile, and sweep over, greet them with a flourish bow, and says, "Welcome, gentlemen, this way. I was told of your arrival."
Ah, perfect. Amazing. VIP, correct? Yes?
Of course, nothing but the best for such a distinguished, and he give a bow, gentlemen.
Thank you. Car gets silent as they make their way, and a door opens the doors for Annelisse. You play your cantrip. The music is, the lighting is low. You see, Adore kind of flick a finger, and the lighting is now like a soft blue, almost makes you feel under the ocean. And you make your way up to the stage. Just maybe a general performance check for how you are playing the part. You do get your +1.
But I also aid in this by playing in the part, introducing her in a very soft stagehand jazz, those jazz murmurs that people do when they're being
Ladies and gentlemen, attune your ears.
yeah,
To the grinding gears.
yeah. I'm trying to introduce the siren in that way and step aside and kind of steal a few more candles, chucking them out the window after I've blown them out.
Okay.
Listen, attune your ears. If you listen closely, you might hear the ocean.
We'll say that is the introduction. And Annelisse,
25.
25. As soon as you walk out and they hear this musical accompaniment that goes with your walk, are you taking Peanut with you?
Yes. I'll leave Peanut behind. What if we've got to get out of there?
Yeah. Peanut is right next to you, in step with you, and as soon as you come out with a 24, the room is silent. All eyes on you. Nothing but your orchestral accompaniment sounding. You can see the flames flicker around the room with this light blue tint that makes you feel like you are underwater. You take a moment up on the stage. You look at the crowd, eager faces, watching, expecting.
She'll look around at the crowd, and she'll make eye contact with a few people, making sure that our special guest is a bit more engaged. And she'll look down at him, and just hold his stare just for a couple of seconds before smiling and standing back. She's already been introduced, and she doesn't need to introduce herself. She takes her instrument, looks around and smiles as she starts to play.
Make another performance check with advantage.
22.
You take your lute. I presume that is your instrument, correct?
Yeah, I'm not very imaginative. I just always go for a loot.
Hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I hope it's not broke.
And usually we would see a very jaunty Annelisse, maybe walking around, singing loudly, smiling, and having fun with the patrons. What does your performance look like? What does this new and very successful performance look like?
Picture The Greatest Showman when they are in that beautiful big theatre, and when she walks out onto the middle of the stage and stands there and doesn't move her body. She just stands there and she sings out in front of everyone. That is the vibe that Annelisse is going for. She's very much still in the center, with her dress taking on that illusion of the waves of the ocean as she plays her lute with the minimalist of movements from her body. And as she starts to play and allows her voice to sing out this siren song along with it.
So it is hard to take eyes off of you, including for you, Titus and Anthony. With the preparations you've done, the ambiance that Adore has helped create with both of you. This ethereal look to Annelisse, this siren song of melodic notes and drawn out words, and the accompaniment of a very well-placed note on the lute. Even the two of you who are aware of what this is and are aware of the person behind this, and that this really is all a facade, you are captivated into this performance. For a moment, your worries are gone. There is nothing but this beautiful, chilling, and mysterious voice calling you from the stage. And the tavern is silent for all except you, Annelisse. And this has happened. Dahlia. The manor is rather empty of guests currently. A lot of people have gone to see this performance. And it is mostly work. There are some guests there who either had no interest or just couldn't get in and didn't want to wait outside. But it is left to cleaning. Elle puts you on the same kind of side of the manor, so I tell you to clean, and you are in charge of the other 2 rooms. Originally, as she spoke to you, it was in charge to a woman named Macy, but she's like, you are going to be the one in charge of the rooms till they leave.
In charge of Ulrich and Kurg's rooms?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
If they need cleaning, they will get cleaning. Make sure you fluff their pillows, everything's well. Anything that needs to be turned over. You know what? I trust you to do what you need to do.
Thank you, ma'am.
Right. Now, again, if you need me, I will be at the front desk.
All right. Oh, ma'am.
Yes?
The performance should be just loud enough to hear from the front, so if you'd like to open the windows, you might be able to catch it.
Maybe. We'll see. You can tell that she's kind of interested, but she's like, I also need to do my job, but music is nice. But she will make her way, and it's not too long, maybe 10-15 minutes until you hear the windows opening, the bay windows opening in the front. And you can hear, even you, as you walk by towards the back, you can hear this beautiful siren song.
She'll go get a cleaning cart. And how complex of instructions can I give Soon?
Soon's fairly intelligent. He's always been able to follow directions to a T. Whether he wants to is completely up to him, but as he understands he's on a mission, he'll follow them.
Okay. So Lucy is going to instruct him to wait until she has been in the room for about 10 minutes and then start making noise outside the window in the hallway, and then avoid getting caught by those people. Those are his instructions. And she will take a cleaning cart and head over towards the rooms. And again, just pretending to be like the shy, demure housemaid. Is it all right if I go in and clean? I can get in and out pretty quickly.
They'll nod. And the darker skinned human just says, you do not need to clean the other room. Just this one is fine.
Okay, that's fine. Y'all haven't heard anything odd, have you?
They furrow their brows and just shake their head.
Oh. Sorry, it's probably just my head playing tricks on me. They were telling me ghost stories the other night. Well, this place is old.
They just nod and they give a bit of a amused puff. And the women guard is going to open the door for you.
Thank you. I don't know if you're allowed to leave the door, but they open the windows up front if you want to try and catch a listen.
We are stationed here, but thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. And they'll open the door, let you in, and they leave the door open.
She will start cleaning the room. Is the suitcase still in the same place as it was previously?
It is.
Okay. And the trunk with the false bottom? Then she is just going to start cleaning and go about her business until she hears Soon distracting them.
Okay. Roll for Soon. Let's have Soon roll. I'll have you roll, Jen, since they are your little robot. Let's do performance.
Soon rolled a natural 20 for a 22.
Okay. What noises does Shun make? If you'd like to introduce that to our newer viewers.
So Soon is a small handheld companion robot that is a support robot for Anthony, and he's learned mimicry over the course of this adventure and previous adventures. So when he gets up to the window and he ponders the instructions to be fulfilled, he realizes he was never specified what kind of sound he was supposed to make. And then he thinks for a very long moment before you just hear this long winding sound before the glass starts to crack, break, and shatter up the side before you just hear this kind of banshee wail.
That is definitely a sound. Damn. It does alert. I would say you can see some cracks on the window. It does alert the guards there, and they look at each other, and the female guard goes, but the other guard stays as they walk past you, and she will start moving, but basically trying to find what it is. But you are in the room with just the one guard at the door. You can hear that loud wail that was outside, and you heard like the what the fuck come from the guards as they kind of murmured to each other, and you heard one of them go off.
She's gonna poke her head outside and say, "Are you sure there's no such thing as ghosts?"
I don't think so. Not here. We haven't experienced any. Don't worry. Amara will. It must have been something else, an animal or something.
Are you sure?
Yes. You don't worry. You'll be fine. He's like looking at the window.
All right. And he's not looking into the room, is he?
No, he has moved
Okay.
to where she was standing and is kind of just looking out the window.
Okay. See if I have any other tricks to try and get rid of him too. Not really. Okay. While he's busy at the window, she's gonna first try to go for the trunk with the false bottom.
Make a dexterity check for me.
Just a straight check.
Yeah, just a straight
Okay.
check.
What's my dexterity? 15.
As you're cleaning, you put your hands on this chest. And while you're used to false bottom just being like the bottom that you take off, this one's slightly different. The bottom of the chest is lined with this a fabric, like thick leather, and from the side, it is hard to see, but one of the studs comes out a little and you can pull it, and it's almost like a door that comes out. And make a stealth check as well for me.
22.
You are able to lift it in such a way that the wood does not creak against it, and as you open it, you see that it is, it's got a few things. It's got a few bags, like small leather pouches. But as you're sorting through it, they seem heavy.
She's gonna look in each one and see if she can find the key or the magic item.
You look through them, and it is mostly coins and gems. There's some jewelry in there, but no key.
She will put it all back the way she found it and quietly check to see if he's still at the window.
With your stealth, you check, and he's still at the window. Let me jump back to Soon. Is Soon just wailing and running away?
I think he'll kind of wait for a moment and then scuttle up above the window because he knows enough that people won't look up necessarily. And
They really don't.
They really don't.
he'll wait for a moment before he'll just kind of tap rapidly at the top pane so it'll break. So it looks like something broke it from the
Yeah.
outside.
Make a
He did
stealth.
fracture stealth.
Yeah. Because he did fracture it just enough that he's hidden and that he can
Amazing. He rolled a 16.
That is one above what he needed. So, Lucy, you hear the tapping, and then you hear the glass shatter in. And let me roll for this. The guard kind of just jumps back at the shattered glass and just hear, what? For a moment, they kind of just forget that you're there, and they close the door, and they will make their way out. I'll put them over here. They'll make their way out, and they are both searching outside, trying to find what is this and what is causing this wailing and breaking of glass.
Okay, as soon as he closes the door on her, Lucy goes for that suitcase.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Lucy, you go for the suitcase, and as you open it, it is just full of clothes, as far as you can tell.
Okay. She will put it all back. She tries not to disturb it too much as she moves it, and slides it back to where it was under the bed, and she'll go for that secret door next.
Okay. Make a perception check for me.
That'll be a 10.
Because before you had seen it, you can see where the in the middle of the wood slats that hold up the wall, where the slight mark of the door is. It would be hard to see from those, but you are experienced with this. But what you can't find is a door handle.
She is going to go ahead and risk it. I have a key to the other room, right?
You should, yeah.
Yeah. She'll take the key to the other room, and if they still haven't come back yet, she will slip into that room.
Okay. So far, they have not come back yet. Make me a performance check for soon. And from that, I will determine how long they will be gone.
Come on, soon. Please do well.
He rolled a 4. He got distracted by some birds. His mortal enemies.
Yeah. Eventually, you do hear outside go quiet. You start hearing footsteps from the outside and start walking around. And you can surmise that soon the guards will be back. And as we do that, we will jump back to the Black Flagon. So the performance is on. Annelisse, you have sung your beautiful song, and it has come to an end. And the crowd goes wild with applause and whistles. What is your next step of this performance? Do you continue to just sing? You can tell that Alric kind of like moves over and motions for you, Anthony, as you're the one that greeted them. And he does make that motion for like a drink. Just treating you like a server.
Of course, yeah. No, Anthony will kind of raise his hand and snap his fingers towards Titus. He's the manager.
Titus will approach in view of the table. He's not going to sneak up next to them and be like, yes. Gentlemen, good evening. How can I help you?
I believe, and this is Kirk talking, I believe there was whiskey reserved for this table.
Yes, we actually have a selection of whiskeys for you to choose from, if you don't mind me telling you a little bit about each.
Yes, go ahead.
We have on bottle Oak Walker, brewed here, distilled in Ilrun, aged in an Entwood cask for that woody flavor. There is the Copper Dragon with hints of cinnamon. It's a spiced whiskey. And my personal favorite, the Dwarven Hammer, imported from Kalish. It's smooth. It's a sort of sweet whiskey.
All right. And he'll look to Alric, and Alric's like, yes. A little distracted still by the music. The sweet one, the Dwarven Hammer.
One Dwarven Hammer, sir, and for your...
He just makes a motion that he won't be drinking.
Will do.
And Alric's just distracted looking at Annelisse.
Titus pops over to the bar, pours a glass of whiskey. Shit, I should have asked. do they want ice or do they just want it neat? But I guess in this town there wouldn't be ice. He'll come back. Your drink, sir. Please enjoy.
Thank you. And he's not even looking at you. He's just looking at Annelisse. And
From
Anthony,
across the bar, Anthony can see that Titus is like reaching behind his back, but then like grips his hand really tight and walks away.
I think Anthony will just kind of relax his shoulders and kind of look up to the sky, giving a small prayer of thanks before he clasps his hands and gives a cheerful nod towards the table.
I could do it. I could do it right here, right now.
Annelisse, are you continuing with your songs?
Yeah, she will stop there for a moment as people are applauding, and she will stand close to the mic and just be like, well, thank you. Thank you very much. Now, for this next one, I want you to really listen, as I would like to take you away to a different place. A place far from here. Imagine the sound of the waves crashing against the rocks. Imagine the scent of the salt water in the air. As I want you all to forget everything that is happening now. Forget those worries. And let yourself be at one with this next song. As she takes out her lute and she starts to perform. And as she is performing, I'd want to say at this point as well that the sort of dress she's got that kind of looks like waves starts to kind of like lift and flow and kind of almost as if into nothing around the stage. She continues to perform.
You can take a hero point for that speech. Damn. Okay. Girl, you have me like, ooh.
Okay.
So as your lovely sirens start singing, Anthony and Titus, you both start hearing this commotion out front. Anthony, you hear it louder as it's happening around your area. It seems that there are some drunk outside patrons that are fighting for a chance to be closer to the window. And it is interrupting the performance.
I think Anthony kind of just takes a deep breath, turns towards the window, looks towards Titus, and kind of motions towards the door. But Anthony himself will kind of sit on the windowsill, climb out, and then stand in front of these drunken patrons and say, "Ladies and gentlemen, your noise is disrupting the performance. Everybody can hear the siren if we can sit and listen quietly. And of course, drinks are on me. But I need your participation in quiet time."
Make a diplomacy check.
Can I say something to help Anthony get advantage?
You sure can.
We have simple rules here, but if you cannot abide by them, then you will be escorted off the premises. Forcefully.
Okay, you can do diplomacy or intimidation, up to you.
Which one's higher for me? I'll do diplomacy. 21 on my diplomacy roll.
As you start talking and Titus comes in, people start looking at you. And you see there's a bit of like a grumbling from the people that were fighting, but they settle down eventually. And Annelisse, the room is quiet once more for your performance.
Anthony climbed back into the window, smoothed his vest, and then turned towards the stage and kind of gestured towards Annelisse again.
Peanut stands up and stretches as Annelisse prepares to start singing again and gives the longest yawn and then settles back down and just watches the audience with just a look of, I'm better than everyone here.
He's in a little satin pillow, just laying next to Annelisse.
That's a dirty 20 from Annelisse.
So your performance continues. the interruption has passed. And you are able to keep performing your siren songs as Alric seems completely entranced by you. And during one of the performance, Alric again motions to you, Anthony.
Anthony will step forward to the table and lead down towards Ulrich to listen.
My good gentleman, I hear that this beautiful woman performs only a few times a year, is that correct?
Yes, we are quite exclusive in where she performs. We only came here because it was a favorite spot of ours when we first started out. It was welcoming and humbling to start in such a fantastic place. We come here when we can as a free performance.
Do you play on events?
We do charge a rather high fee for events. Private events a bit more, I hope you understand.
There's just, they were looking at Annelisse this entire time, but they just kind of turned their eye to you like, money's not an issue.
He'll just give a wide smile. You and I can talk business. Of course, whiskey on me.
Right. Yes, I would like to speak with you after I've indulged in her beautiful music.
Of course. If you were looking for private performances, you would have to talk to her directly, of course. I do not book that myself. She's in charge of all that herself, and we have an agreement. Naturally, if she says no, no is no. I hope you do understand.
Of course. I have no issue speaking with the lovely siren myself.
Of course. If there's anything I can provide for you tonight, please do not hesitate to ask.
Yes, of course. And it's just a little wave as they go back to looking at Annelisse.
Anthony will go get a whiskey and bring it back and set it neatly and replace the empty glass.
Yeah. Okay. And as you have this successful conversation, we turn back to the manor. Lucy, you can hear and even see from the window in the room, if you peek out the curtains, that the guards are making their way back. They do have to go around, but they are making their way back. You have maybe about a minute or two before they do. Is there anything that you're doing?
Yeah, she's gonna slip out into the hall and into that other room.
All right. You do so. And you have the key. So, in here. And do you see this room is plain? It's a lot smaller than Alric's room. The bed is more single, but it's still well maintained. You see a small table with a candle that's been blown out, with a few pieces of paper. And again, a trunk at the side of the at the bottom edge of the bed.
She's going to check the trunk and see if the item is in there.
Okay. Roll me a dexterity check. Or thievery.
Thievery? Okay. That's a 20 for 27. Look, I will take all of my bad rolls. But when they count.
That is fair. You see this one does have a lock. But for someone like you, a lock is no match. And with your thievery score, did you bring your lockpicks with you?
Have I gotten lockpicks since we had our stuff taken away?
I will say yes.
Okay.
It was within your uniform that Fenris gave you.
Okay. Yeah. Then
we'll
yes, I have lockpicks.
Really cool it. Yeah.
I was gonna say I don't know. I just got a weapon like 3 episodes ago. I have 3 gold to my name.
Yeah. It's his gift with the thing. Yeah. but if you bring your lockpicks, with your thievery of, what was it, 27?
Yeah.
You are able, it's no match for you to this lock, and after a few jiggles of it, you just hear like a little click. And you can tell this is a lot heavier. And as you pull it out, you see a few boxes. This chest is a little bigger, a little longer, more like a trunk. And you're able to pull it out, and you see a few things. Mostly boxes, but you see a square box, all just black and nice with hinges that opens, almost like a jewelry box. A long, about a foot and a half, well, foot and like a few inches long box. Thin, a smaller rectangular box, and then a longer, maybe about 3 feet long box.
Okay. She'll go for the 2 small boxes and see if either one of those contains the artifact.
The square boxes?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's going for speed here, not curiosity.
Okay. You open the square boxes, and you see one has a pendant that has the image of this unblinking eye in front of it, and a bit of a hollow behind it. And the other one has a set of white, almost sterile gloves.
Okay. She'll put all of that back, and she'll look through the rest of the chest. Is there any sign of this object?
Make another thievery roll. And perception roll. I'll combine the two.
Okay. Theory is a... that's going to be a 19, and what was the other one? Perception?
Perception.
15.
Okay. So as you're looking through this,
No, sorry, 16. I have a 5 in perception. 16.
16. Okay. You almost miss it as you're looking around. But as you are looking through the chest, you realize one of the floorboards is slightly raised under
Okay.
it.
She'll slide the chest and pull the floorboard up.
You pull the floorboard up, and you see this small box made out of wood, with decorated golden, with small golden decorations, and it does have a lock in front of it.
Okay. Do the decorations on it appear to be arcane runes of any sort?
Make me an Arcana check.
That is a 13.
A 13. You're not sure. You can see that they are kind of like markings, but you're not sure if they're magical or not.
She's just going to try and quickly open it with her lockpicks.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me thievery.
That is a dirty, dirty 20.
Okay. As you do so, you are able to unlock it. You hear the lock click.
Mm-hmm.
You open it.
Yes.
As you hear the lock click, you open it, and you see kind of like this small burst of a haze coming from it. It doesn't make a sound. And it dissipates quite quickly. But I will need you to make me a... Do we have a constitution roll?
I think that falls under fortitude.
Yes,
Yeah.
that was just
that fortitude?
42.
Okay.
Yeah.
23.
It takes you a moment, and you feel kind of like this cold wash over you, and you feel yourself just stay very still for a second, but you're able to shake off whatever effect this was trying to do. And sitting is a nice cushioned silk lining. You see a cube with a chain attached to it.
Okay, she will quickly replace it with the one that Anthony made. Close the box, put the floorboard back, put the trunk back, and then she's going to try and find that door from this side of the wall and see if she can find the hinge to get into the other room through the wall.
Okay, make a perception check.
22. 17 plus 5.
On this side of the door, it is the same. It's got the same look, but you're able to see that in one of the side wood panelings, there's a little divot where you can stick two fingers and kind of like lift a lock and slide the door open.
Okay. She will quickly slide herself in. Do I hear that the guards have gotten any closer?
Yes, you do hear footsteps that stop right at the door of Alric's room.
Okay. She is going to... Is there any like silverware that has been left in this room? Like, is there a food service tray?
Whatever you brought before, the plates and the cups, like the glasses, have been left.
Okay. She is going to tuck the item away, and she is going to take one of the small forks and clutch it in her hand and slowly open the door and peek out holding the fork and go, Is it safe to come out?
Make a deception check.
I'm gonna spend my hero point to reroll that. Thank goodness. That's a 21.
Okay. Those are what the hero points are there for. As you slightly open the door, they look at each other and they give a bit of a...
You closed the door and locked me in, I thought.
There was nothing outside. I think it might have been just some kids playing pranks. I'm so sorry, miss.
Oh, no, it's okay. I just didn't want to come out because, the ghost stories and then there was that awful sound and then you ran and you closed the door and I thought, I'm gonna collect the trays and I think I'm gonna go have a lie down.
You should do that, miss. So sorry for the scare.
And she will very nervously collect the tray, and she makes her hands shake a little bit as she walks down the hallway.
Are you going anywhere specific?
Since the performance has not ended yet, she is going to just kind of continue on as normal for a little bit. How much longer is the performance supposed to go on?
It's about an hour long performance. We're probably like at the 45-minute mark.
At the 45-minute mark
has happened.
All right. She will do the cleanup and then she will go find Elle and say, ma'am, I have finished for the day. The rooms are all clean. They didn't want me to go into Mr. Kurg's room. I hope that's okay. And it appears some kids were throwing rocks or something, they said. The window in the hallway's broken.
Oh, gods. All right. I will take. Thank you so much, Dahlia, for letting me know. Thank you for finishing your shift. You can rest upstairs. That's no issue.
Thank you. I think I'm gonna try and catch the end of the performance, if you don't mind.
Oh, of course. Take your time. You're off duty right now. Enjoy the rest of the performance.
Thank you, ma'am.
And she will hurry to where the guards are. It's like, you hear, oh gods, the window.
Yeah. She will head out and she will, I don't know where the big fancy house is that Annelisse was getting prepped at. So she will head back to the shop.
Okay.
And she will take a roundabout way if she has to.
That's no issue. Make a, are you stealthing through the, or are you just walking normally?
She's just walking normally and blending in with the crowd. She'll actually stop at if there's any vendors open, she'll actually stop and pick up a few things just to make it appear that she's just out like any other person.
With the performance and people on the streets, there's a few vendors that have stopped and like the fruit vendor has kind of like started selling like candied fruit and just snacks that the viewers can buy while they watch the performance.
Yeah.
A little extra money, you know.
Yeah, she'll pick up a couple things and then she'll head into Fenris's shop.
I think at one of the stalls, the fruit stall probably, soon kind of just taps your boot and kind of scuttles up under the skirt just to cling on.
That's fine. It's just holding on by the garter. That's cool.
Yeah, it's just...
Yeah, she'll let that happen and then just head back.
Okay. And you can still hear the performance going on, and even you who you have been the performer and just attended performances that are quite magnificent, but even this even if just for a moment catches your attention as you walk by. So, Annelisse, you are singing what will be your last song. Any final goodbyes?
She's going to, just before she goes into her final song, she's going to kind of like turn to the audience. And she's just going to be like, for my final performance to you all tonight, I would like, first of all, for the lights to be dimmed slightly.
And you just see the lights dim.
Want you all to take a second and prepare for what is to come. And she'll turn around and she'll take a few steps towards the back of the stage, and under her breath, so that no one else can hear, she will cast message. And she will be like, Dahlia, are you out? Do you need us to go longer? Let us know. You can reply to this message, preferably really quickly.
You don't have to see me for that, right?
I was reading the thing. It doesn't seem to say that unless I've missed it.
Okay.
It says 125 feet, and I've done the measurements on the map, and I think we're within that.
Oh, perfect.
I believe so. So yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. The message you get back is just, I'll be in the shop.
And with that, she twirls round on the spot, allowing the fabric of the dress to completely move with her as she walks forward, making full eye contact with our lovely guest at the front. And she'll just smile and just give a little wink at him, just be like, almost a bit like she's gloating in a way.
Okay.
She'll step back and start to perform.
Okay. With your final performance of your siren songs that come to a crescendo, the crowd cheers, roars. You feel on top of the world as you see these adoring eyes at you from inside the tavern. Outside, the cheer can be heard all across the town square, and the lights go out at the end. And then they raise a little bit as you can give your bows, and Adora's just like, good job. Just giving you a thumbs up. But as you go to leave the stage, this blue tiefling gentleman just looks at you and says, Miss, just a moment of your time if you can.
But of course. What kind of performer would I be if I did not interact with my fans?
Of course. I am a great lover of the arts, and I've seen of many performances, and yours has captivated me. Mind, heart, and spirit. I would love to be able to hire you for a personal event. If you're available, I will pay greatly, and any and all accommodations you may need will be given. I do not need you to make a decision tonight, but may I will give you an address to send word to should you need. I can assure you that your performance will be well received and adored by many.
Well, of course. Why don't you give me this address? And I do feel a bit tired now, but perhaps we may have a conversation soon.
Of course,
and
of
I
course.
can perform.
He will quickly jot down an address and he gives it to you. If you glance at it, you can see that is in Ilbran. And it says, are you staying in town for long?
She'll sort of take the address from his hands and just instantly go and hand over to, I'm assuming Anthony's near her.
Oh yeah, he's pretty much right behind you. As soon as you came up
Just
stage, he's
gonna, like,
behind you.
Like,
He'll take it.
I am staying for another maybe night or maybe even 2. Will you be around?
I can be. Yes, I and you see Kirk just look at him like, we are leaving tomorrow, unfortunately.
Oh, that is such pity that you have to leave so soon.
Where are you going after this, if I may ask?
A private party. Sorry. Invites have already been sent out.
Alright. Anywhere here in Nays?
We cannot divulge that information. Sorry, our customer list is quite exclusive and private.
Make a deception check.
15.
15. That's just what you needed. And he's like, of course, yes. Is there anywhere I can send word to you all? Any estate or manor?
Anthony will kind of gesture over to a door. She is our contact here.
Perfect. Then I shall make contact with the lovely lady. Titus, make me a perception check.
24, baby. I'm on the hot streak with y'all.
While Arik is very much enticed and busy with Annelisse and Anthony and Dor, you do notice that Kurg, his hobgoblin bodyguard, does keep looking over towards you. Just slight glances, barely perceptible, but with your roll, you catch them.
If it's just slight glances, Titus will busy himself behind the bar, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he figures he's been made.
Mm-hmm. And Kirk will speak up, speaking to Annelisse and Anthony. It's the gentleman over there, your security.
Yes, he is one of the best. I've had him on retainer for about 10 years now.
Interesting. Would you mind if I had a few words with him? I too am security, and I'm just curious about the ongoings and how different people practice it. I'm the head of security for the merchant house, Silvas. I'm sure you've heard of it.
I can't say that I have, unfortunately. I deal in art, and kind of gestures towards Annelisse. I'm sure merchant trade's grand and all, but politics are never quite my thing. And we're quite busy tonight, so we won't be able to stick around very long. In fact, we're leaving now. We do have a party to get to.
Perhaps maybe you'll speak to him in the future. But for tonight, I need him to be working. I'm sure, being a bodyguard yourself, you understand how important it is to protect that person that you've been assigned to. And if you were to go and distract my very capable bodyguard over there, well, I would not be too pleased by that. And I would love for us to stay on such positive And she'll look over back at Alaric. Such positive terms.
Yes, Kirk, you can't, interrupt the man in the middle of work. You know how it is with you, security. And he just nods. There's just a lingering glance to Titus.
If you do have troubles, let us know. He is one of the best, after all, but kind of reaches towards Ulrich and clasps his hands without taking the hand. Will just kind of give a bow. Your patronage is most welcome, and I hope we deal with you in the future. But right now, away we go.
Of course. Thank you so much for your performance tonight, Miss Siren. I hope to see you again in the future.
I'm sorry we will. Thank you. And she'll take a little nod down, and she'll just stand up and just, without saying anything else, walk towards Titus, basically, letting her dress sort of flow behind her.
As Annelisse is heading over to Titus, he skirts around the other side of the bar and gives her a bow, starts formulating small talk, like, oh yes, performance, you did well, you look very lovely, blah, blah, blah. And if he catches the eye of Ulrich, he just gives him a firm head nod, like, let's not do this here.
And they just watch you all, watches you all leave.
To Anthony as they leave the door, I've been made. I think that God knows me.
Make a fortitude roll, Titus.
Hot streak, 26. I'm proficient in fortitude.
Yeah, but you will make your way out. And eventually, you can reconvene at the shop.
When the party comes back, Dahlia is just sitting on the bed, swinging her legs off the side.
We need to go.
Oh yes, definitely.
Ulrich made me from across the bar.
Okay.
I barely interacted with them. I think he was just a little perceptive this time around.
Any of you see Fenris on the way in? I don't know how to work this thing, and she'll hold up the cube.
Oh, well done. No, I've not seen Fenris. I bought us some time. I lied through my teeth about going to another event. I didn't say where.
We should still get the heck out of here, I think.
Did you manage to get the key?
She's still just holding it up.
Nice.
All right, do what you need to do. Kind of reaches over. This is, sorry. Kind of peels the petal off. No spirit gum.
Oh, Annelise's face.
Yeah, just kind of tugs it off. I'm sorry.
It I was fine with those being there. Like, I was just going to let them fall off naturally through,
I'll
like,
go
sweat
find
and fear.
Fenris. Lucy just gives.
Wait. Before you go, I have slight idea. We obviously need to get out of here. If we perhaps need to head soon, or maybe in the morning, I was thinking we could send a note or something to this Alric to say that the Siren wishes to meet him somewhere. Sort out a location somewhere where his guards go with them. That may give us a clear path away from all of this. What do you think?
I think as soon as they get back, they're going to look for the things that they need to get out of here in the morning. They're going to realize that a very important part of it is gone. So you should probably change your clothes, and I'll find Fenris so we can figure out how to work this damn thing.
Okay. Carry on, Anthony.
Sorry. Just kind of grits his teeth, and this is going to hurt me more than it hurts you. Rips them off.
Oh, bastard.
Have fun. Titus will leave with Lucy.
Why are you coming?
I thought we were going to go look for Fenris.
Well, you're staying down here out of sight. You were made, remember? Why don't you look around and find us some supplies? I'm sure that a Dragonborn lady would have something we can take.
All right, I'm fine. Turns to the kitchen. My dear, I have a question.
Yes, of course.
We need to Amscray immediately. Do you have any bug-out bags with rations in them?
Darling, what do you take me for? A fool?
A very capable woman.
Exactly. She goes to the pantry and brings back, it is like a little, a small backpack. Something you can throw in another like big backpack or put like as a satchel. And she's just, here you go. It is about a week's worth of rations for about 3 to 4 people.
He'll just take the pouch, put his hands over hers, and give her a quick peck on the cheek.
Ooh.
Thank you kindly.
You're very welcome. You remind me of my son.
Well,
He was so sweet.
while Titus is getting mothered by this NPC, did I see Fenris when I came in through the shop?
Yeah. He just kind of motioned you to the back. He seemed busy working on something
Okay.
in the work desk.
She is just going to poke her head out to where he is and say,
Mhm.
if you don't mind, we need your help figuring out how to work this thing. I think my friends need to get out of town quick.
Yeah. Give me one moment. And you just hear a little slight. Okay, got it.
Wonderful.
What do you need help with? And he'll kind of go down here with you.
Oh, also, I'm going to need to change clothes.
Check the trunks in the bedroom.
Thank you. She'll do that, and as they go down, she'll tell them that she got the key. How do we use it to get out of here? Just leading back to the others.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Starts going through the trunk.
Yeah, he will go into the room with you. Gives Kasha a kiss on the cheek. While she's like, oh, you remind me of my son, Val. He was a great man. Strong fighter. Very brave.
Thank you for the compliment.
But, may the gods rest his soul. But Fenris will come up and just put his hand out. It's like, key?
What?
Yeah. Okay. So you see the jewels here, and he brings out 2 other keys. One that Ravine had given him, and another that he just had with him. You're not sure how. And you see his hand glow with a bit of magic, and presses on each small gem on each one that comes out, and the bottom plate where the room was opens, and you see a inside basically is it's almost like an inverted key, where you would have to put this into a matching form to just press it in, and just says, I'll be honest, I don't know what the door looks like, but it's got 3 keyholes similar to this, same size. There can't be many doors there. I do have, and he'll take out a map.
I thought you said you knew where this thing was. That's why we went in there.
Location. I told you, we haven't cleared it out yet. I have the location. And he'll take out the map. And you see him point, and I'll bring you over to the world map just for now. So you are here. And he tells you the entrance is an old temple ruin at the foot of these hills in the middle of Naze. Should be about a 3 days travel by cart or by foot. Take whatever clothes you need. Kasha will have food should you need it. And here, and he'll take out 4 pouches. And each has 50 gold for each of you. Now, I do need you to clear it out. We suspect that this temple will lead, if not to an exit way in the middle of the hills, to one at the end of it, which will be closer to Kira, which is a bigger city in names. Once you're done, send word to this address and he will write down an address. Memorize it, burn it. I will get word as soon as we get something there from you. And we can start carrying people through there. Any questions?
No, you are as wonderful as always, Finnis. Well, thank you. And she'll kind of like turn to the group as a whole. Just be like, it has been wonderful working with you. Wonderful getting to know you. And with that in mind, I would ask you, do you wish for me to join you on this next journey?
I mean, I'm pretty sure I already made myself quite clear where I stand on it.
I know Anthony was clear. It was
Really,
very
you
much
adopted
like
another one.
I did! You can't stop me, you left me alone for 10 minutes.
Would you like the facetious answer or the truthful answer?
Well, I mean, Anthony's one was like, please, I want you to come, but also I may kill you at any point if I think you betrayed one of my friends. So that was quite intense. So why don't you give me your true answer?
We could honestly use the extra help, so any that you could provide would be greatly appreciated.
Of course.
Try not to be a... Yes, fine. You can come.
Were you about to say try not to be a Titus?
I'll keep it to myself.
And I'm
Thank
pretty
you,
sure I
Dahlia.
threatened you a few times, Titus. Once.
I thought that was just banter. Am I dumb?
It's... No, I kind of blend it together so it doesn't seem as scary, but it makes a point.
No, he just threatens everything that he comes in contact with, and it loses all its value over time.
That's what it is.
I'm not a scary person, honestly.
No.
Not in this persona, anyways.
How quickly can we be out of here?
How quickly do you need to be out of here?
Well, if they made my friend here, I'd say immediately.
Alright. I can drive you to a bit outside of the town, and you can go on foot.
Sounds good to me. Any big monsters we should know about in these parts?
So many. But the road itself, if you take the main road, should be clear. It's mostly fields out. The woods are up north are the only one around Nays. Mostly just hills with a few little patches of woods. Nothing too threatening.
Any idea where Ulrich was going?
None.
She looks to her companions.
Anthony pulls out the address and holds it up. Looks to Titus. This is given to you with the utmost trust.
What is it?
His home address. Holds it out.
An address.
Lucy snaps it up,
Yeah.
looks at it, and then plasters it to Titus's chest.
I don't think it's me who has to be making any promises of, not doing anything foolish.
I usually reserve that for Anthony. So the rumor that we all went off to Valais. Well, I disappeared. You never heard from me again, but our siren friend here went to Valais. That'll send them off in the wrong direction if they're looking for her.
Especially with the doors help. So, are you all ready to leave then?
Yes,
Might want to change clothes.
sadly takes off the pen, but I like this.
Anthony,
Look, I have a fancy need, and this is fancy. Places
and you're
it on
about to
the
go traipsing
table.
through the woods and Lord knows what else. Helm's hand and get it together. Lucy's already changing her clothes.
Anything that you originally had, you can leave here and I'll return to a door.
Yeah, Annelisse will kind of like turn to Fenris and just be like, I'll be back soon, right? I'm not going to just disappear. I mean, you're my friend and adore, and this is my home. I'm not going to be gone long. I'll be back again before you know it.
He will place his hands on your shoulders and gives you just a firm, like, hold. Nothing, like, violent or anything, but gives you a smile. I know. We will be here waiting for you. And if you need anything, you just send word. If y'all hurt her, I will find out.
Yeah.
Lucy's giving Peanut a belly rub.
Looks at you with those kind of like the black sclera, but you see the blue iris with slitted eyes, kind of like very reptile-y eyes. And while this man has a tougher look, you know, half-shaved head, face tattoo, piercings, gives you a sweet smile. We'll be waiting here.
Yes. If I don't see her on my way out, please tell Adore. I'll see her soon.
I will tell her.
I will find a way to communicate with you all back here. There has to be a way out there somehow that I can get word to you.
There is. The address I gave to your new friends. You send a raven with a note. I'll get it. Alright?
I promise. Great.
Just don't be too obvious in your messages.
I'm never obvious. You know, it was that one time, okay? I know. I was really... Look, I'd had a few ales at that point, and I was like, you know, drunk scrolling to you, and probably shouldn't have been doing that. And I've learned my lesson, okay? And if it makes you feel any better, I sent like 5 other ravens to all different places, and like 3 of those were X's, so you know.
Surprisingly, that does not make me feel any better.
No, would not make me feel better either.
No. Get ready. You're on to bigger and better things, I'm sure.
Well. And she'll kind of like usher him to the side slightly and just be like, you know, this group of people, you know, I kept saying to you how one day everything could go back to how it used to be. We could actually rebel against this. I think this group, I think they might actually be the answer to this. I think we could do it.
His eyes kind of flick towards the group and then towards you. I've always liked your hopefulness, Annelisse. Something that's definitely missing from the world.
Well, you know, I have my own goals, my own dreams.
I know.
This group full. They seem good.
Yeah.
They remind me of better times.
I can see why, but he'll kind of stand between you and the group, so his back's to the group, and he will give you a folded piece of paper. And as you open it, it is a bounty with your face on it. Be careful. One of the reasons I can't control you, but one of the reasons I'm okay with you leaving is because being on the move will be better for you.
Yes. At least the amount's going up. They obviously think I'm worth more.
Hey. You'll be fine. I'll make sure of it, okay?
Yes. They won't find me.
And even if they do, I'll bring you back. Even if we get out there and we're weak and all broken, we will crawl out. Promise.
Thank you, Fenris. Before I came here, I made a promise. phone that I left. That I would return to her. Help me keep that promise.
You know, I always keep my promises. And he will kind of like grab your face and just say, "You're part of the crew. No matter what, you'll always find one of us slithering around."
Nice play on words.
I knew that would make me laugh. And he will give you a hug, which it's not something that he does often. You know that he's not a very physical person. Most he's done is kind of like just ruffle your hair, but he gives you a hug.
She'll kind of like wipe her eyes and then like smile over to the others and return to the group.
He will nod, and he will leave the room to prepare the cart and everything.
Well, let me be the first one to officially welcome you to the party. We are a strange bunch, but we do well.
Thank you, Titus.
We don't offer the benefits package anymore. We sort of lost our old employer.
Ah, really? What about dental? Do you do dental?
No.
Oh.
We're working on it.
Oh, that's rubbish. I really like sweets.
You'll fit in just fine then. All right.
What do you mean soon broke a window? Kind of tracking back to Talia.
Doesn't matter. He did his job.
He did his job. You did your job. We did our job. We're going south. And from the south, we'll go across the river. And if the letter gets out in time, to our friend at sea.
Assuming they're still alive.
Assuming. Does anybody have an envelope? Real quick.
Sorry, I left it in my other pants.
Fair enough. Makes a little paper envelope out of some scrap paper he has and puts in 2 rings and writes "a promise kept" and goes looking for Fenris.
He's just outside of the shop getting the cart ready.
He'll hand it to Fenris and says, "I don't know how you do overseas or if you have contacts overseas, but I'm guessing you'll get there faster than I will."
You assume a lot out of me, but I can see what I can do.
If it gets there, it gets there. If it doesn't, well, a pleasant surprise all around.
Where are you
This
sending
address.
it to? Okay.
He'll write it down. If it's still standing, if it's still there, this address, and only to this man.
All right. All right. You have my word.
Thank you. Do you need help with the cart?
I'm good.
Cool.
You just see him lifting a crate into it.
Eyes it.
It's a bit heavy.
Helps.
He doesn't need help, but you can definitely help. Yeah.
I think Anthony's more of guilt, like, I asked and now I should do it sort of thing.
Well, he said he didn't need any help. He's fine. But you see that he will be kind of... It's a covered cart, and there's like an empty space towards the back for you all to kind of sit behind the crates. But eventually downstairs, Kasha will also give you a few water skins to take. And they are closed should you want to take any from the trunks, just plain clothes, but there's different styles, different it's like for a more male figure, a female figure, however you prefer. There's different sizes for different people. And you can meet. Is there anything else you'd like to do before you meet in the cart with Fenris?
Dahlia's going to finish changing her clothes and pull out a cloak from the clothing supplies and pull it up over her face. As she did so long ago when she first met Anthony. And she'll just say, "Pick a new name. Dahlia's dead."
Kyra.
Very well. And she'll exit the establishment so that no one sees her.
Titus is close behind Kyra now, and he pulls up his hood like the first time he met Anthony. We need to pick up hair dye in the next town. This mop of red is very distinguished. And he'll walk past him.
I'm starting to look like a seedy purveyor of ill-begotten goods. You realize this?
Hey there, sailor boy.
So, you can all leave the hideout. Kasha will give you a big hug, Annelisse. And she'll slip you a little bag full of, like, cookies that she made. For the road, dear. It's your favorite.
Yeah, she'll take those and just be like, "Thank you very much." You know, you talk about how proud you are of your, well, how proud you were of your son. But you know something? He would be so proud of you, of what you have achieved. His memory, it lives on in you, and the actions that you do.
Oh dear. You're gonna make an old dragonborn cry.
She'll wrap her arms around her and just like really tightly squeeze and like hold her for a few moments.
She'll give you a big hug. You come back to us in one piece, dear, alright?
Oh, don't worry, Fenris has already dished out all the threats. I'll be fine.
Listen, Fenris can dish out and, act on those threats. I don't doubt it, but you've never seen an old angry dragonborn woman, let me tell you. This breath weapon is not what it used to be, but I still got it.
Now, don't worry, if you feel like you want to return to those adventuring days, you let me know. I'm sure this group will be happy to have you along.
Oh, you send word and I'll be there. Now you go, dear. Be safe. All right.
She'll smile and she'll take everything in, this hideout that she's been in the last couple of years, and she'll turn around and head to follow their new group of friends.
And as you get into the cart, Fenris leaves a spot open for you all to get in the back. There's no seating, but you can kind of all make your sit together at the back. A little tight, but you all fit. And then he kind of like closes up the space with another crate, pulls out a hood, gets in the front of this more rickety looking wagon, and it's being pulled by this old you can tell this horse is just a little older, but they're still good. It's this kind of splotchy white and brown fur. It's what's it called?
Coat.
Thank you. And gives a little as he. That's the only sound, the horse sound I can make. So you hear kind of the rain snap, and you feel the wagon start going through the uneven cobble streets. And that's where we'll leave off for tonight. As our adventuring group leaves Ladros, and we'll see what adventure awaits them next week.
Hey everyone, thank you for joining us for tonight's episode of Nexus Adventures. Don't forget to leave us a review on your podcast platform of choice. It really helps our show grow. Anthony was played by Jen. Annelisse was played by Robyn. Lucy was played by Sarah Roberts. Titus was played by RJ. Your GM tonight was Alyssa Vamp. Check out our show notes for cast info and links to the Hype Goblins affiliate sponsors. Codes provided will help further support the show as we purchase new Pathfinder content for the GM and cast. If you'd like to join us for our Patreon-only after show, visit patreon.com/thehypegoblin. This show and others like it are made possible by the generous support of our patrons.